Hello everybody and welcome to today's reading lesson where we'll be looking at reading fluently, and in fact we're going to be looking at this for the rest of this week, okay? So the kinds of things we're doing in today's lesson will be the same each day this week. So Mr. Fenn, what do you think it means to read fluently? I've got a text here. How would I go about reading that fluently?
Right, well, it's all about reading quickly, right?
Right.
We're big year twos now, so we don't want to be sounding out every single sound of every single word. It takes ages. Like, literally, you don't want to be doing this, right? P, oh, ooh, ah, polar, air, bears, we don't want to be doing that. It just takes too long. I don't understand what it's about. So we want to be reading quicker, reading on sight. So this, watch this.
Okay.
You'll be impressed by this. Watch this, right? Okay. Polar bear fascinating facts. Polar bears have a great sense of smell. They can sniff out seals from almost 1 kilometre away, even when they're under the ice. A fully grown adult penguin, right? See?
I don't know, children.
That was quick.
I don't think that was very fluent either. I mean, I agree that we shouldn't sound out everything, but that just didn't seem very fluent at all.
But it was really quick.
But did you understand a word of any of that? What can you tell me now about what you just read?
Right.
What can they sniff out? He can't remember. He doesn't know because
cheese.
He didn't understand it. So reading fluently then is all about reading with a good flow, okay, a good pace. Not too fast, but not too slow, okay? Now think about these characters again. Remember, reading is like this scale. We've got in the middle this guy here, Captain Fluency, okay? That's what we want to be, right there in the middle. We don't want to be Captain Slow over here, who sounds out every single word, like Mr. Fenn did a moment ago, because that takes forever. And then by the time you finish the sentence, you've forgotten what was at the beginning of it, so you'll never be able to understand what you've read, okay? But we also don't want to be Flash over here, who reads too fast, like Mr. Fenn was doing a moment ago, okay? Because then it's hard to understand them, and then you don't really understand what you've read either, do you?
No, I didn't understand anything. No.
So, in fact, it's only when you're Captain Fluency that you actually understand what you're reading, all right? And that's why it's so important to read fluently. So, Mr. Fenn, can you remember how many words should we be reading in a minute, roughly, if we're reading fluently?
I remember, so I think about 90 words would be really nice, really great.
Absolutely. And if you look back then at this, there we go. If you look back then at our text that we're reading, you'll see along the side all those numbers, okay? And those numbers are there to tell you how many words you've got to, okay? So if you look down here, it says 90 here. That means when you get to the end of that line, you've read 90 words. So ideally, you want to be able to read roughly up to about here in a minute, yeah? Okay. So we've got a stopwatch here, Mr. Fenn. Should we see if you can read at a good fluent pace?
Yeah, I'll try and be, not too fast, not too slow, just right, yeah.
Absolutely, right.
Okay.
Go.
Polar bear, fascinating facts. Polar bears have a great sense of smell. They can sniff out seals from almost 1 kilometre away, even when they are under the ice. A fully grown adult polar bear weighs between 175 to 650 kilograms and measures approximately 2 to 3 meters in length. Polar bears need to hunt earlier each year due to climate change, which is melting the sea ice. This means their feeding season is shorter, giving them less time to build up their fat reserves. This is why polar bears are quickly becoming an endangered species. Try to find out what you could do to help save the polar bears.
Wow, now we've got just a few seconds left, and Mr. Fenn's got up to down here 102. Okay, now that wasn't really fast. That wasn't like before when you were absolutely attacking it as fast as you could. Alright, you read a lot slower, but you still could read more than 90 words in a minute at that pace.
And I was worried when I got about halfway through. I was worried I wouldn't finish in time. I thought I might be going too slowly, but I wasn't. Because I was trying to make sure I just had a little, when there's a full stop or a comma, just making sure I just stop. Just a little bit, just pause, take a little breath to help with the flow of the reading. But yeah, I easily made it, even reading sort of it felt kind of slow, but I still did it, yeah.
And did you feel like you were taking it in and understanding what you read?
Well, yeah, I understood it much better this time, so that was great, yeah.
Brilliant. So, just like Mr. Fenn has been working on today, your job today and tomorrow and the day after too, with different texts, is to try and get to a point where you're reading fluently. So not reading too slowly and sounding out everything, although the first time you read it you might struggle a little bit more, but once you've got some of those trickier words, hopefully you'll get quicker. But then remember, we don't want to be too quick either. We want to go at a good pace. Alright, and those numbers along the side are to help you see the kind of pace you're going at. Okay, so using a stopwatch or a phone or a clock, whatever you've got, keep timing yourself and see how many words you're getting in a minute. Okay, remember that target is 90. And then once you've had a few goes at that, you'll see today you've got some questions to answer. And they're retrieval questions, which means you can find the answer where?
In the text.
Absolutely, that makes them nice and easy. Every question can be answered by looking at the text. Okay, so have a go, practice your fluent reading, and then have a go at the questions as well.